Welcome to the Inc. Productivity Tip of the Day. Today's tip: the secret missing ingredient to truly refreshing breaks? Mastery experiences. Let me run a scenario by you and see if it's familiar. You've just been through an incredibly busy time at your company, or maybe things are just chronically crazy, and you feel yourself teetering on the edge of burnout. Fine, I'll treat myself to some rest, you think, and proceed to spend the whole weekend lying on the couch reading or scrolling through Netflix. Come Monday, however, you discover you feel just as exhausted and unmotivated as you did 2 days before. What went wrong? While common sense suggests that the best way to recover is through low-key activities like reading, sleeping, and watching TV, as Adam Grant recently explained on his podcast Work Life, research reveals something counterintuitive. There are definitely times when what you need is utter sloth. But to truly recharge, you're going to need to mix in some mastery experiences. Lazing around isn't as refreshing as you'd expect. To explain the science, Grant invites Sabine Sonnentag, an organizational psychologist at the University of Mannheim in Germany, onto the podcast. Grant describes her as one of the world's foremost experts on time off and recovery, and what she recommends will likely surprise a whole lot of entrepreneurs. As Sabine explains, relaxation is what many people think when they think of recovery: unwinding, maybe doing nothing, just relaxing. And so in terms of more physiological processes, it means a low sympathetic activation, so lower blood pressure, lower heart rate. But that is not the only avenue to become recovered. There is a second ingredient to a more thorough and lasting reset, which Sonnentag terms mastery experiences. That could be physical activities, physical exercise that is in most instances not immediately relaxing but activating. Activities that are challenging. So for instance, learning a new language or having a hobby that really asks to step outside one's comfort zone. From mountain biking to elaborate cooking projects. The possibilities are endless, but the end goal is that sense of drained accomplishment you get when you do something worthwhile, but difficult. But don't you get that feeling at work, you might ask? Why would you want more of it on the weekend or on vacation? Together, Sonnentag and Grant outline a number of benefits that make mastery activities a more effective way to beat burnout than lazy days in. The physical exhaustion of challenging activities can drive your mind and body to more fully sink into rest afterwards. They also leave you with a sense of progress and confidence, Grant adds. Finally, mastery activities require so much concentration that they effectively block you from thinking about work while you're doing them, giving your brain a rest. To feel more energized, do more. You don't want to go rock climbing 15 minutes before you plan to sleep or force yourself to train for a marathon when you're already physically exhausted. That's of course understandable. Actual rest is important, but it's not going to leave you feeling re-energized for work the same way challenging yourself with mastery experiences will. The two psychologists conclude. They're not alone in making the point. Laura Vanderkam is a time use expert who has literally written the book on this subject, What the Most Successful People Do on the Weekend. She too emphasized that what we traditionally think of as relaxing isn't actually all that relaxing. Vanderkam writes, other kinds of work, be it exercise, a creative hobby, hands-on parenting, or volunteering, will do more to preserve your zest for Monday's challenges than complete vegetation. Similarly, executive coach Mandy Brown claims that many people think the reason for their slow progress toward their goals is a lack of time. The real issue for most of us, she insists, is lack of energy, and she prescribes the same solution as Grant, Sonnentag, and Vanderkam. Do more tough things that challenge and excite you. Find time for something you love, and suddenly you'll have the energy to rip through tasks that previously seemed impossible, she promises. Each of these experts approaches the problem from a slightly different angle, but the essential truth they're getting at is the same. We often think doing very little will recharge our batteries. Sometimes that's true, or at least an essential first step to recovery. But mostly, humans aren't built that way. Feeling energized is less about reversing physical exhaustion unless you work in a coal mine or similarly physically taxing job, and more about reminding ourselves of our joy, skill, and autonomy. And the best way to do that isn't scrolling YouTube. Instead, it's tackling challenging activities you enjoy and basking in the rush of accomplishment and satisfied tiredness that follows them. That's it from Inc. Enjoy your day and be sure to check back weekday mornings at 6 a.m. for more tips from Inc.